Hi everybody, it is White Witchley here today, and instead of doing a pick a card reading, I'm going to do some shell reading, which is why I have my shells out, along with using some charms. So, yeah. So I think the topic for this is just going to be, what are we collectively needing right now to hear for some self-love, because I think that's a really important topic, and I know a lot of people have been struggling with that lately that I know, so I figured there's got to be a lot of people out there struggling with it as well. So we're going to do just some general reading for self-love. Okay, make sure all these are in frame here. So, let's just take a look at these. Okay, so the closest shell, which I find is kind of the most relevant for what we need the most, is, of course, the love shell, and no surprises there. It's telling us that we do, in fact, need to love ourselves in order for self-love to happen, to be kind to ourselves, to have those positive thoughts toward ourselves. So that's important. The next one is this guy, and this is kind of our masculine energy shell. It's also sunshine and passion and movement and actual action. And so again, it's telling us that, we need to take action. You can't just sit there and do nothing and expect self-love to come to you. You need to work at it and have this positive sun energy, this movement forward. So the next one that I'm going to look at is this one, and this is kind of like a shadow self, looking at your inner self. Your deep hidden thoughts is kind of yeah. So, delving deep and looking at yourself and where is the self-doubt, maybe the self-hatred even. It's a harsh word, but where is that coming from? Where is it stemming from? Explore what made you, be the way you are in regards to loving yourself. So the next one is our female energy shell, moon energy, nurturing, comfort, those kind of things. And so, nurturing yourself is really important right now, showing that care, that compassion towards yourself, listening to your intuition. Those are all really important things right now. The other quite important thing is we have this little shell. Let's see if I can get it to, there we go, focus. So this one is about hidden patterns and not realizing that these patterns are happening. And so I think it's kind of a reminder to look at the patterns that you're creating in your own life, and what's causing you to go into these moments of self-doubt, of not, truly loving yourself and appreciating yourself. What's causing this? Is there a pattern behind it? Is there a situation that causes it that you haven't noticed? Is there a way that you can, catch these thoughts, these, feelings before it happens? And so this next one is our foundations shell, and this is, you have to build a new foundation. You have to start from the bottom. You have to create that strong base before you can really improve and build up from it. So also important. And so then these, we'll do one more. So this is kind of a dual nature, double-sided shell. And I think this is, for every negative thing, there's also a positive, and there's two ways to look at it. So you might view yourself negatively, but someone else, wishes that, they had the qualities that you have, and that's important to acknowledge. Okay, so now the back half are kind of maybe the things that have, keeping us from loving ourselves. These are more advice and what we need to move and do. And this is, what's kind of caused it, possibly. Or, the negative aspects that we're looking at. And so the first one we're going to look at is this really spiky guy. And no surprises here. This one's kind of about, having that thorny exterior and, protecting your inner self and, having been hurt. And so I think that's kind of, for a lot of us, we've been hurt in the past and we've gone inwards, and maybe our, our insides, we doubt ourselves more. We don't think we're, as special or as beautiful or whatever it is, because we've been hurt. And, we have these thorny exteriors, so our problems aren't being brought up. We're just kind of hiding them. So, we don't get hurt again. And this shell too, it's a broken shell. It's about, loss and hard times and disruptions. So I think for a lot of us, we've had a lot of hard times and maybe being bullied and, being broken by someone is what is causing some of this, this self-doubt, self-hatred. And then, so we have kind of our crossroads path and, having two pathways we could go. And I think possibly that a lot of us are right now down the wrong path, and that this is kind of drawing attention to that maybe it's time to switch paths, It's never too late to change your path, to change your direction. So it's a good time. And then we have these two shells, which are kind of similar. Our green shells kind of just change of fortune in general. And this shell is, abundance and oftentimes, actual physical fortune, whereas this one a lot of times is spiritual, emotional changes. So I think that we've had a lot of ups and downs, and opportunities for growth that maybe didn't happen because, we were being all thorny instead of, looking at moving forward. And this one too, I think, there's been a lot of changes maybe in luck and maybe in your mindset. So that's kind of what my shells are telling me about self-love, this, reading. So I will just put these aside. And we're going to do some charms. And it's going to kind of be on the same topic. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of look at the ones that landed inside here first, and then as the most relevant, and then look at the ones that, landed out here as kind of extra messages. So we have a fortune, and it reads, "It will take maturity and compromise to manage." There we go. And compromise to manage. So it's going to take maturity to get through this. Not just letting yourself, wallow. It's going to take kind of taking a moment, working through it, and realizing that everything is not going to happen right away. Compromise is going to have to happen. Like, maybe you won't be able to focus on it completely, things like that. So our other ones that we have in here, again, we have a heart charm, which is fairly obvious. We need that love. We have sun, which kind of matches that sun energy before, positive movement forward, that kind of stuff. Having a positive outlook, positive self-talk. Ooh, I keep bumping the lid. We have always, and I think, and she. So I think a lot of you might be female watching this video, but always, I think this is kind of just like, you've always been this amazing person, and it's time you start realizing this. Or possibly it's saying you've always had this negative outlook, and now it's time to change. It's this needed movement forward, the victory, the sun energy. Kind of looking in, we have a crystal ball, a marble, but there's this beautiful pattern inside, and looking deep and kind of, trusting your intuition to tell you what it is. Also lots of water energy. So, the caring, compassion, love, those kind of things. We have a little Canadian flag, which for me, means home, but for some of you it might not. But take what you will. But Canadians are also, known globally for being fairly friendly. So it could be something like that. Be friendly with yourself. Have that friendly attitude. And then we have a key. And I think it's, it's time. It's time to unlock this, love for yourself. It's, the key to success. It's, correct timing and all those things. So outside, we have a couple charms. We have this dragon coveting this, purple jewel. And I think, this is kind of similar to the thorny one shell this time, in that you've been protecting this side of you, the side that is vulnerable. And then, when you don't talk to people and you hide part of yourself from the world doesn't get to see this beautiful side of you. And then you start not seeing it too, because it's so far hidden, because you don't want to get hurt, that, it's even hidden from yourself. We have this ring. So again, love, but also commitment. So commitment to yourself and moving forward and loving yourself. We have good. So you're good, you're kind, you're an amazing person. We have another fortune. Give time and thought to everything you do, it says. I don't know why I can't get it to focus, but so again, like giving time and thought to this, not just going, oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and everything's going to be fine because I decided I'm going to, love and appreciate myself. That's not how it works. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of thinking. We had that shell, exploring your inner self, your shadow self, all those things. We have a pair of ballet slippers, so grace and beauty and being gentle and all those things, to do with loving yourself and being kind to yourself. And, you are beautiful and, this wonderful person. We have this coin, which is a 5-cent coin. So the number 5, if that is kind of meaningful to anyone. But it's also, we have this coffee cup. And so, usually fortune And coffee cup, I associate with treating yourself, and comfort, and taking that time out to, sip your coffee or your tea, just comfort and luxury and those kind of things. And so, maybe taking time for yourself to treat yourself is a good way to get you started on, being a lot more kind to yourself. We have this cross, which not just Christian, it's just in general, just means, maybe it's a good time to rely on the more spiritual side of your beliefs, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Wicca, whatever it might be. It's time to, look at your God, your goddesses, your deities, whatever you believe in. It's time to maybe talk to them, to focus on them, to have their help. And we have another key, so really important message. It's time. You have the key. Key's here for you, waiting. I'm really getting that, it's opportunities, and right now is kind of the key opportunity for you. To start on this path and this project. So I think that is it for you guys, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to do another reading for you guys. So like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I would super appreciate that. And again, just thanks for joining me, and I hope that this was helpful, and that you're able to go on and maybe start this journey now, because the charms and the shells are definitely telling me that it's time for that to happen.